My first exposure to the Howard Phillips Lovecraft Historical Society was through these two films, these excellent adaptations of Lovecraft's work. And if you've seen those films or anything else produced by the Society, it should come as no wonder that I ordered the Mass of Nyarlathotep prop set without hesitation. As you can see, this shipment is Shoggoth certified, thanking me for my purchase. So, as is traditional on the channel, let's take a look at the box. Now, the box does look like it was a little damaged, but I did witness it being hand-delivered. I paid for good shipping because I was a little concerned with not really knowing what the props were like, how fragile they might be, so I paid for good shipping, and I was rewarded for my patience with a lot of good updates about where the package was, and as I said, I got to see the delivery guy shivering in horror to deliver the package. Alright, so let's get the box open, see if the tape will defy the X-Acto knife, and of course we don't want to do any damage to what's inside. Well, it appears my camera can't stand the horror, but let's get back on its feet, reassure it, and get back on with opening up this box. Now, we've opened up a lot of boxes over the years, and mostly inside the box there's some kind of, packing material or whatever, so that there's more work to be done. But what I'm about to show you is that the box was actually put in here for dramatic effect. Now, of course, it's upside down because, life is hard. But let's turn it around so we can see that we're staring into the enigmatic face of this, well, who knows what it is. Now, I would have maybe preferred bubble wrap. I would have preferred maybe a cardboard strip to prevent accidental scarring of the item with the X-Acto knife, that kind of thing. But at the same time, as soon as I saw it sitting there, just partially covered by paper, I was pretty excited. So let's get it actually out of the box. You see that the whole thing is wrapped, so you can do that pretty easily. It's kind of cool. And the entire box is treated with the kind of care you should come to expect for what's inside it. Every single face is printed with something in the style of advertisements of the late 20s and 30s. Right? Limited use of color, kind of dramatic presentation. This is the advertising front. The rest is letting you know what's inside. Now the bottom is also done, and I'll show you that at the end. Alright. So, let's look inside, shall we? Now, at this point, as you can tell, this is voiceover after the fact. I'm having difficulty getting the box open, so rather than watch me do that, we're going to move to the box actually being open. And voila! Here we see the user's guide, which is an essential item. Do not dispose of it. It will help you organize the tremendous number. There's over 100 props in here, right? And none of them are marked with any kind of index, like, this is the prop from page 24. Right? So you'll need this, and you'll need the organization material that has been kindly provided for you. Right? Now, this is just to give you an idea of the kind of information you're going to see on this handout. And anyone who has watched this channel before knows how much I love this kind of plain wrapping paper. So this has just been an altogether pleasant unboxing. And now look at this, right? The maps are done in the old traditional style. They look faded. They're on yellowed paper. These are authentic passports. There's passport stamps. This is a case for a wax cylinder, and inside it is a USB which has audio files that sound like they're on wax cylinders. I mean, that's probably the reason why I ordered the thing in the first place. But how cool is that? And just at the very top of the screen, I'm going to look at it here in a second once we get the passports out of the way. There's a scroll that's written in Chinese. This is authentic wooden handles. So look at the passports. Just like you'd expect passports to be. Several pages, so you can use them through the entire adventure. You can apply passport stamps, which you can see underneath them, and then you can cancel them out when the investigators leave, or you can actually expel the investigators or make it so that they're never welcome back in that country again. And underneath all of this, there are manila folders with all the handouts, all the paper handouts in order. Newspapers that are actually printed on newsprint and so on and so forth. It's just out of this world.
All right, one thing that I didn't notice when I opened this earlier was that it has a smell. It actually smells like it doesn't smell like damp paper or anything like that. It smells like wood or something. It's the box itself is simply cardboard, very nicely done cardboard. Don't lose this. But there's something in here which has a nice kind of wooden smell. It's a little bit exotic. I don't know what it is. All right, so let's take a look at that first. So it says Edison, gold molded records echo all over the world. All right, and there's really nothing about this which suggests it's anything other than the prop it is purporting to be. All right, so the investigators can actually find this, and if they open it up, all right, there's this USB key. All right, so this you'd take out beforehand, and then the rest of what it's filled with is just this, red wrapping paper. So they can have a fairly immersive experience. There's no actual wax cylinder inside, but as soon as they get the wax cylinder, then of course you can play specific audio for them as needs be. So that's pretty cool. All right. So that's pretty incredible all by itself. Now, some of these things I'm just not going to show. One, because I don't want to risk potential spoilers, and also I just want to keep everything properly organized for my own benefit for when I use it.
But just for perspective, this promotional picture of all the props spread out on the table should explain visually why I'm not going to show you everything that's in the box. It's just too much to put back.
The passports we've already looked at. Let's take a look at the stamps. All right. So consular service, £2. Right. These are actual stamps. And there's some more stamps. Right. And please look carefully at the numbers. All right. They're different. Right. I mentioned they're actual stamps. They're self-adhesive, they're sticky on the back. You can lick them and use them. All right. And also take this out. Now these are many, many sheets of transparencies and stickers, right? Return forbidden, deported, tourist visa for Australia, Port of New York, etc., etc. Just page after page after page of these for each of the passports. Right. And the last item that we're going to take out of the box, we are going to take a look in the box. This is the scroll. Okay, this is this is wooden and tied with ribbon. I haven't tried to open this yet. I'm hesitant about opening it, and because then I have to tie it up again. but let's do it for posterity. Right. Okay. And this is all I'm going to show. All right. At least this one isn't upside down. Right. So pretty spectacular. Okay. The cloth, right, shiny and nicely textured, for an authentic scroll rolling experience, complete with, its message in a foreign language. So very cool. Now to look inside the box, right, here are the stamps, which I just showed you. Apologies for the shadows. I can't seem to avoid them in this room. There are the stamps again. Okay. So there are manila folders with the handouts. Right. Okay. So we've got Peru. Right. So this is how you know that this is ready to go for the 7th edition of Massive Nyarlathotep. Okay. So we've got Peru. We have evidence to be opened by authorized personnel. Right. And, that is actually sealed. And then we've got, anyway, different folders for everywhere that everybody's going to go. Okay, now from the perspective of storage, keep the box. All right. Everything goes back into it nicely where it came from. And as long as you keep the nice plain white wrapping paper, then you will have no trouble. Right? Everything sits in there nicely all by itself, in order, ready for access. And then you can just take it out as needed, remembering to keep your user's guide. And then you can close the box on it. All right. Now, other than storage, the only issue that a person might have is wanting to use the material more than once. Right. So if you do end up in a position where you want to do a lavish retelling of Massive Nyarlathotep, and why wouldn't you? Most of this is reusable, providing that nothing happens to your handouts in play. These are like props on a movie set. You need to curate them and take care of them. They are, for all intents and purposes, what we call realia. Right? This is what gets found at the scene of the crime. It's up to you to keep it in good shape if you want to use it again. However, there are some things, seals to be opened, and that sort of thing, that are part of an evidence file, or actually using the stickers and writing in the passports. This will, be the end, in most situations, for the usable life of that passport, unless you turn it into a prop later on. But some of those things can be reordered, such as the passports. So this prop set has a great deal of reusability, although it's going to have its biggest impact the first time through. If you're playing it with different people, you're going to have a lot of first time throughs, and it will certainly be worth its purchase price. I can't tell you how impressed I am with this. Massive Nyarlathotep is one of the few printed campaigns that I truly love. It's one of the few that I've ever bothered to look at more than once. Well, this has just raised the game up into the stratosphere.